Okay, welcome back. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. Today we're going to be working on solving one-step equations today. Yesterday we did addition and subtraction equations. Today we're going to do multiplication and division equations, which are the same steps and should be a pretty straightforward review for you. As a reminder, you should be answering question 1 on your PDN. Make sure you're typing your answer right here. For question 2, write them on your piece of paper and solve. At this point in the video, you want to press pause and solve your PDN. Press unpause once you solve them. Okay, welcome back. Let's go through the answers. First thing I did, drew my line, started on the left because that's where the operation. Subtraction, inverse of subtraction is addition, add 30, and I'm left with n. On the other side, I add 30, and I'm left with 82. N equals 82 is our final answer. For the second one, draw my line. This time I'm starting on the right because that's where the operation is. The operation is again subtraction. My inverse is addition. I'll add 7.5 to get x. If I add 7.5 on this side, I add 7.5 on this side. 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 1 is 0. Carry the 1. 30.0. You can write your final answer as x equals 30.0 or x equals 30. Great. Today we are again working on one-step equations. We're going to follow the same steps as we did yesterday and the steps that we just did on our PDN. We'll draw our line. We'll start on the side with the variable. We identify the operation. We perform the inverse operation on that side. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do on the other. We'll perform the other operation on the other side. We'll write our final answer of what our variable is equal to, and we'll do substitution and check our answer. Things to remember from yesterday: inverse of subtraction is addition, inverse of addition is subtraction, inverse of multiplication is division, inverse of division is multiplication. Let's go ahead and get started with our first examples. I'm going to go ahead and write exactly what's on the paper on my own paper. I'm going to label this section of my paper examples, and I'm going to write the first example down, making sure that I'm being super careful and writing it exactly like it says it on the computer. V over 8 equals 24. I'm going to start on the line. Start by drawing my line. I have to decide where is my operation, is on the left or the right. For this one, my operation is on the left, and I have to identify what that operation is. Remember that anytime we see a fraction, we know that that operation is division. The inverse of division is multiplication. Because this is divide by 8, the inverse of that is multiply by 8. When I do that, I get V. If I multiply this side by 8, I have to multiply this side by 8. 4 times 8 is 2, carry the 3. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 3 is 192. I should come over to the side and check my work. If I had V over 8 equals 24, I need to do 192 over 8, which is a division problem. 192 divided by 8. 8 goes into 19 2 times. Subtract, I get 3. Bring down my 2. 8 goes into 32 4 times. 4 times 8 is 32. 32. Oh, minus 32 is 0. 24. The answer I was looking for is 24. 24 does equal 24. Make sure that you're not putting on the computer 24. You're putting your answer on the computer of 192. Number 2. This is example 1. Example 2. 96 equals 8p. Draw my line. Decide which side to start on. I'm going to start on the right because that's the operation. There is no operation. When there is no operation, I know it's multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division, so I would divide this side by 8. I'm left with p. Divide this side by 8. I'm left with 8 goes into 9 one time. 12. If you need to do that on the side, that's fine. Hopefully you already know your 12, so you know 12 times 8 is 96. We double check our answer. Is 8 times 12 equal to 96? Yes, it is, so I know my answer is right. Very good. You ready to start with your practice? Go ahead and go to problem set 1. Make sure that you're copying down the questions on the piece of paper, and then we'll check our answers in a minute. Remember that you should be, for number 5, read it carefully, write your equation, and then solve the equation. So number 5 is a little bit different. When I say go, make sure that you press pause and then you will work out the work on your scrap paper, and you'll come back and unpause once you've had it worked out to check your answer. Go ahead and press pause now. Okay, welcome back. Number 1. 3x equals 210. Draw my line. Start on the left. It's multiplication. Divide by 3 to get x. 210 divided by 3. I get 70. Number 2. 2.8 equals 4g. Draw my line. Divide by 2. Ooh, that's a mistake. Which side should I be starting on? I shouldn't start on my left. There's no variable on my left. I should be starting on my right because that's where my variable is. This is multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division. So I divide by 4 to get g. And I come to this side and divide by 4. 2.8 divided by 4. Make sure you're being careful as you line up your decimal. 4 goes into 0 times. It goes into 28 7 times. So my answer is not 7. It's 0.7. If you put your answer as 7, it is incorrect. Go ahead and change it now to 0.7. Number 3. Number 3, a over 5 equals 35. Now, if you were going quick, you might have just said, oh, 7, because 7 times 5 is 35. That's not the way that we solve this. We draw our line. We start on the side of the operation, right here. A over 5 is division. The inverse of division is multiplication. I multiply times 5 to get A, so I multiply this by 5. I should get a final answer of 175. Number 4. 6h equals 5,280. Draw my line. This is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. I divide by 6, come off with h. So I also need to divide this side by 6. I probably had to come over to the side and do a little bit of scrap work. 5280 divided by 6 goes in 8 times. Subtract, get a 4, bring down my 8. It goes in 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. Subtracting it 0, bring down my 0. My answer is not 88 because 6 goes into 0. 0 times 6 is 0. I subtract and I get 880. Final answer of 880. For number 5, it says sell about 1.8 pounds of walnut for $5.04. Write and solve an equation to find the cost of each pound of walnut. So for number 5, I'm going to say that C is the cost of 1 pound. I know that she bought 1.8 pounds, so 1.8 times C is going to tell me how much it costs. I already know it costs 5.04. So this is my equation. 1.8 times the cost is going to be 5.04. To solve this, I do the same thing I did before. Draw my line. This is multiplication. Inverse of multiplication is division. I'm left with C. Let's erase that and write it a little less sloppy. C. I have to now divide this side by 1.8. 5.04 divided by 1.8. Oh, can't do that. Cannot have my decimal in my divisor. So I'm going to move it once here and move it once here, which gives me 18 into 50.4. When I do that, first step is to bring up my decimal. 18 goes into 50 2 times. 2 times 18 is 36. I would subtract, get 14, bring down my 4. Think about how many times 18 goes into 144. 18, I might try, let me guess, 18 times 6. 8 carry the 4, that's only 108. Okay, what about 18 times 8? 18 times 8 equals 4, carry the 6, I get 144. Good, that's exactly what I was looking for. So 18 goes into 144 8 times. 8 times 18 is 144, and I have a final answer of C equals 2.8. Now, the question asked me, what's the cost of 1 pound? I'm not going to say the cost of a pound is 2.8. I'm going to say the cost of 1 pound is $2.80 per pound. You're going to want to make sure you not only have that on your paper, but also that you've written that as your final answer as 2.80 per pound. Now, don't mind Elizabeth, she has to get a new diaper. Moving on to problem set number 2. You should be writing down these questions on your paper and solving them. Right now, once you are already set to go, you should pause this video and press play when it's time to check your answers. Okay, welcome back. Practice 2. What is that? Oh, extra credit alert. All right, today is Wednesday. You are sending me this text between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. You're telling me your name in the text, and I will text back and tell you how it's affected your grade, how it has boosted it. Your goal for today is to text me a hilarious joke. Must be appropriate for school. Must be a joke that I could tell to Elizabeth, even if she won't understand it. Bonus points if it's actually funny. If it's a stupid joke, I'll give you 1 point. If it's actually funny or one I haven't heard before, I will give you multiple points. And again, once you text me 847-769-4731, I'll text you back and tell you how it affected your grade. Okay. Number 1 said 150 equals 6m. Draw my line. This is multiplication. Divide by 6. I get m. 150 divided by 6 gives me 2. 5, m equals 25 is my final answer. Number 2, 14.7 equals b over 7. I start on this side because that's where my operation is. Remember that this is my operation. b divided by 7, inverse is times 7. I'm left with b, so I multiply this side by 7. 7 times 7 is 9. Carry the 4. 2, carry the 3, and 10, put my decimal in. My answer is b equals 102.9. Number 3. 3 was 2c equals 18.6. Draw my line. This is multiplication. Divide by 2, I get c. Divide by 2, and I get 9.3. c equals 9.3. Number 4. 3.5x equals 14.7. Draw my line, divide by 3.5 to get x, divide by 3.5. This might require me coming over to the side. 14.7 divided by 3.5. Cannot do it because there's a decimal in my divisor. Move my decimal once, and I get 35 into 147 with a decimal at the end. 35 goes into 147 4 times. 4 times 35 is 140. I subtract and I get 7. I now need to do 4 things. Put a decimal, bring it up, put a 0, bring it down. 35 goes into 72 times. 2 times 35 is 70, and I have my final answer of 4.2. Okay, number 5. Z over 16 equals 8. Draw my line. Z over 16, that's division. The inverse of division is multiplication. Multiply by 16 to get z. So I have to also multiply this by 16. I might rewrite that problem to make it a little bit easier on myself. Times 6 is 48. Carry the 4. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. Z equals 128 is my final answer. If you have those all correct, you are ready to start on your exit ticket. Looking at your computer, make sure that you have plugged all of your answers in on the computer. For your exit ticket, you have 2 questions. When you make sure that you are writing your answer on the computer right here when you're done. When you have finished your exit ticket, you have Wednesday's assignment. Your suggestion is today that you complete the order of operations question. Hopefully you completed the first 2 assignments from the week. Hopefully they were not too difficult for you, and you have your 3rd assignment today. If you have questions, you can text me, 847-769-4731. You can also make sure that you log on to our office hours. Office hours are at between 11:45 and 11:15 and 11:45 today. Take care. See you guys tomorrow.